I think everybody wanted to just be polite and not be the first one to speak. I guess I'll go. Hi, everybody. How we doing? Draft night, always on time, as expected.
Classic. But hello. For those of you that are unfamiliar, I am B-Fine. With me is T-Money, and then we've got J Riser and Ara in the background. I don't think you'll be able to hear them. I'm pretty sure it's just two of us. But we're ready to go.
We are. I guess I should pull up the stream too so I can at least follow along, at least a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah. So, for those that don't know, I've never done or been part of the broadcast team for a live draft before, so I'm super excited to see how this goes and how much chaos I can sow on my own and how much they're going to have to rein me in. But I think it's going to be a good time for everybody involved.
Yeah, I've been on, I don't even know how many of these at this point. I've been doing them for years now, so I got you. We'll be fine.
Hell yeah.
I would like to point out, real quick while I'm just looking at the chat, Toast, you suck. Toast gotta be the worst co-GM of all time. But on top of that, we're ready to go, so... And I think, so I think at this point, obviously we kind of do this thing about 30 minutes or so after, so we've got a couple picks I think we can roll through, so if you guys are ready for it, I think we're ready to see who's going to go 1 overall.
Let's do it.
And at first overall, we have Gunnar Gudjohnson, center, user Huge As.
Classic name. Love it.
Yeah, it's Huge As. Not even the first Huge As will show up in the SHL, but huge pick. Obviously very exciting to see a first gen go first. I know obviously it goes back and forth between if you're going to get a really solid recreate or a really good first gen. I know this is the first draft for this Great Falls regime, so being able to really start on a good foot here. Huge is super active, as you can see in the rookie Discord. Should be a really, really good pick here.
Yeah, completely agree. Anytime you've got, you mentioned let's call it the new regime, you kind of want to make a splash right off the gate. And this is the way to do that. So good first pick for them.
And now we will move on to our second pick for the St. Louis Scarecrows. So curious to see who Jimmy and Ronnie decide to pick up here.
Yeah, definitely going to be a scary pick. I'm sure of it.
Oh, God. Are we starting it early?
We're starting it early because if we don't start it early, it's never going to get started and then we lose. It's the whole thing. You know how it goes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Got to keep the people entertained.
That is true.
I have to say, and I'm gonna say this because we got some time while we're waiting right now. Again, never been part of a live draft. It's so crazy to just have somebody in the background on OBS pressing the buttons to move the slide forward and like in my ear, like I'm a professional streamer.
Oh yeah,
and it's like the farthest thing from that, but it's super cool. and I love it.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. We've had this setup run for a while too, and we've also had a lot of these drafts kind of break in real time too, which is also really fun, where OBS just stops working for, an hour, and then you have to riff for about an hour. It's great.
Well, if there's one thing we can do, we can riff. I'm sure of it.
That is true. That is true. And I think we're ready to pull up the second pick.
Yep, I think we're ready to send it. And second pick is going to be...
Yeah. And second pick, I think we might need to switch the team slide on it. But...
There we go. Shorzy, left wing, another first gen user, bareback alpaca.
Yeah, that's
top tier name.
Yeah, absolutely. Shorzy, another one's been super active in the rookie Discord. Really cool to see 2 first gens go 1-2. I know this is a really solid class with really both some solid new creates and some solid recreates. So really cool to see. Shorzy's going to be a great fit in St. Louis. I know they're still in a bit of a retool. So I think bareback alpaca is going to be a really big part of what they're building over in St. Louis for sure.
Yep, wholeheartedly agree. They were, trying to get back to the upswing, and I think this is definitely going to keep them along that path.
And then from there, we're moving to the Carolina Kraken. So Kari, obviously, in this draft, we kind of know Kari's obviously not going to go at this pick, but the question's going to be, who will she be adding to her team at 3rd overall? I think we have a couple of guesses, but it does sound like the pick is in, so let's turn it over and see who we got.
Let's do it.
And unsurprisingly, at 3rd overall, we have 7, Scott Hunter on defense. For anyone, that is basically anyone, 7 was the GM of this team for like 30 seasons, something along those lines. Just ran the team, made it one of the strongest engines from creating like SHL caliber players that were like, churn out multiple MVPs. It was an incredible system that he set up, and then left to become the GM of the Cincinnati Six when the expansion teams rolled around. Last draft, he was, I believe, 1st overall to Carolina, 1st or 2nd when he was in it last time. I think it was 1st. And then, obviously, now 3rd overall to Carolina, so it's unsurprising to see him go this high. It's unsurprising to see him go Carolina. It's as much of a slam dunk as you could have gotten here. So huge pick up for Carolina.
About the most logical pick of all logical picks here.
Yeah.
So the 2 of us were tagged earlier, and people were told to send us fun facts. And so 7 didn't send me a fun fact, but he did say something that I do want to shout out. He is a huge American football fan, and he would love nothing more if you joined him in joining the ISFL for their upcoming season.
I can't. Are you a GM over there?
I am, yeah.
Which team? Which team are you GMing?
I GM the New Orleans second line.
Got it. Okay.
And I've been there for a while. I feel so old.
We'll move on to pick for a second. I was ISFL. I was there for like a couple seasons in like 2021. Okay. Ended up like 1st pick of the 2nd round to Oko. Busted, as you do. But also I was an O-lineman, so like who cares?
That's fun.
And then hey, I was good for Kansas City. It's fine. I was a good DSFL player. I just wasn't a good ISFL player. What are you gonna But enough ISFL riffing, because we have 4th overall ready to go for Great Falls.
Sounds good.
And an absolute banger pick here for Great Falls. We have Hazel Adeline McKenzie, user RAFTML. So RAF, this is, I believe, their second player. First player was RAF. Or pretty sure it was RAF. It might have been RAM. I don't remember. It was one of those abbreviations.
It was FAM. It was Florence.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
It's fine. It's whatever. Ended up on the Whalers, and then ended up basically, I think, played her whole career for Chicago. Incredible goalie. Decided to recreate, playing as a center naturally. Really, really, really strong pick. Raph's an incredible user. Churns out graphics like nobody's business. Huge locker room presence. Very easily could have been like first overall pick in this draft. So really, really good grab here for Great Falls.
Yeah, this is an excellent pick. Yeah, Raph as a person is incredible. She was in Vancouver when I first joined the league as well, and so she, like you mentioned, huge locker room presence. Really great person. Definitely an absolute slam dunk of a pick.
And apparently, according to the stream, there is some kind of a trade, and
YouTube chat is also saying that there was a trade.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to find it.
I think I can find it here. I just don't know what's a leak and what's not at this point. But we've announced the pick. So
that's what I feel like. So, 4th overall, you guys are correct. There was absolutely a trade at 4th overall, which honestly makes even more sense now that I'm seeing it. So there was a 4th overall trade, which means that instead of going to Great Falls, Raph will be going to Vancouver. Truly could not escape Shawnee, even if Raph wanted to. So we'll work on finding the details for that trade and see if we can get it posted up. But yeah, so that also makes an absolute ton of sense. So like we said, Raph's first player was on Van, huge part of that Van team. I know Shawnee, like one of Shawnee's favorite players that Shawnee's ever drafted, so unsurprising that Shawnee made the move to go to Van. And to everyone's point, Van trading for 4 and then picking Raph may be about as surprising as Carolina picking 7 at 3rd overall. So we are about where we're at. But thank you guys for calling that trade out, because I just, for some reason, do not see it because I'm blind and trying to manage this on like 2 different screens, and it's kind of all over the place. We'll get there. Keep yelling at us if we do something wrong.
Look, and if we do miss a trade, we can always go back on it and burn another 5 minutes. That's just more pay for the 2 of us. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I should have guessed when Shawnee was the one saying there was a trade. I probably should have guessed it was his trade he was trying to tell us about.
That would make too much sense.
So, it is what it is. But we now move on to 5th overall, which, again, unless this one's also been traded, we should be with the Colorado Raptors. At 5th overall.
Let's see what they do.
Do we have the pick ready? Question mark.
We do.
And yep.
Daniel Noxus, left defense, user Noxu. He's a recreate. Noxu is also on Vancouver, so this is wild to see people that were on the J team that I was in when I joined a while back get drafted. Noxu's great. He does way too many things, and I don't know how he has the time. This is an absolute.
So real.
This is an absolute get for Colorado. Really going to help shore up the defensive pairings. This great pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Noxu, I was actually just working with Noxu on hiring a bunch of rookie mentors. So, was actually just working with them recently. Great pick. Huge presence in Vancouver. I believe either current or former co-GM of Chicago. My brain's not
I
working
think
at the
current
moment.
still.
Okay,
I think current, yeah.
Believe that's correct. But yeah, huge. Cool. Current pick. Current GM. All right.
Our stats person has confirmed that they are current, so we're,
yeah.
I love that. That's so great.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it's one of those things I feel like we've talked about in the past drafts where if you can get a current SHL GM, I mean, that's always just a huge add from like a tactics perspective, from just a overall locker room perspective. It's always good to get an SHL GM if you can get them. I mean, Carolina did the same thing with Devin, so it's a good move here for Colorado for sure.
Yep.
And Nike is saying that Noxus will never leave Chicago, and I fully believe Nike on that because I have no reason not to fully trust Nike on everything he says. And now we move on to 6th overall, the Kelowna Knights, which is my second SMJHL team, currently run by Patrick. Very curious to see who he adds. I know they had a really good draft last year. So curious to see how they build on that for this year as well.
Agreed. And I also love the confirmation that I have been saying Kelowna correct.
That's so fair. And at 6th overall, they pick Po Javelski, user J Doctor. So we've got another first gen going. First of all, love the name. I mean, as a Stars fan, I've got a lot of love for Pavelski. But Jay's been super active in the rookie Discord. Really good pick. Obviously, if you can get a good center, center may arguably be the most important position in the SHL right now. So this is a great pickup for Kelowna. Really like this pick.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Center's just such a premium at the moment. So anytime you can get, an energetic new create at that, it's always gonna pay off.
So, solid pick here for Kelowna, and now we move on to my first ever SMJHL team. Let's back on that. The Newfoundland Berserkers, and I'm sure someone's going to yell at me for the way I say Newfoundland. I don't care. I've done it for 5+ years now. That's all right. That's cool. I should have said Newfoundland just to really rage bait people, but we're just gonna run with it.
I think that would have tilted quite a few people.
Yeah. So, with 7th overall pick, the Berserkers have selected. Wait on the drum one time in here. Aiden Hunt, center, user JR95. So JR has been around for a while. I believe, I want to say former new GM at one point. Been around for a long time, like predates me being in the league. Great user, great pick. We were just talking about how important center is positionally, so I think you're gonna see a lot of centers, you're gonna see a lot of defensemen go in this first round. JR's great, like super great person to be around. Really good pickup there for NL.
Yep.
Perfect. We're getting leaks in our ears. No spoilers though.
Yeah, I mean this is great. I need this for everything.
And I believe, according to Nike, JR is also the new man co-GM. So our whole point we were making about Knox and 7, we're also going to apply to JR. Anytime you can get an SHL
just GM. Doing too much.
Yeah. So we are good. And then from there, we move to pick number 8, the Maine Timber. The historical rival of the NL Berserkers. Let's see who they take.
Today I learned. Big Papa, another center. We were just talking about how important center is right now.
And there we go. And we were also talking about really high quality users. So we've got Notorious Tig, obviously recreate. This is his 4th player. I might have overshot it. It's possible. I don't know. I know former Anchorage GM, former Seattle GM, former Cincinnati co-GM.
Wow.
Great user. Really good at building players. I know Kermit Murphy was like a huge monster of a player. So just really solid pick here for Maine. Makes all the sense in the world. Again, we were just talking about how important centers are, but I mean, when you got a player like Tig too, it's what an absolute add here at 8 for the Timber. And then now we move on to San Diego at 9. The Toaster duo. There are a lot of things I can say about the Toaster duo. I don't think most of them are stream appropriate. What is it? I believe this is 2nd season, if I remember correctly. That they've been the duo over there. Toast has been in the SHL since like. He's gonna yell at me if I'm wrong, but I want to say like S4.
Wow.
Toaster's newer. I believe his first class was. Oh god, Toaster's gonna kill me too. I believe he's an S82, so he would have been the 81 J draft, and he went to St. Louis. Currently on Texas, but they've been the duo over in San Diego for a while. Well, not for a while, for 2 seasons now. Really doing a lot of good work over there. So very curious to see who they decide to add to the team. Oh, it's S6. All right, sorry, Toast. Whatever. You're fine.
It's a very important distinction.
Yeah, those 2 seasons really make a difference.
Yeah.
And at 9th overall, we have Maxime Blanger, user Dante JGC, a 1st gen. So you can see here, we are continuing the center run. This is, I believe, 3 centers in a row. Good to see another 1st gen go here, though. Makes sense. I know Toaster really likes adding a lot of high-quality 1st gens, so very unsurprising to see one go high here. Should be a really good add to that San Diego title team.
Yeah, agreed. It's kind of been a recurrent theme, throughout this whole time, and it doesn't really change. Anytime you get a chance to add a strong new create, you're gonna take it. And it obviously holds true here as well.
And then from there, we move on to the Ottawa Highlanders. So Ottawa just got a brand new GM, I believe, yesterday. So should be a really good chance for them to make their mark on the franchise, really get things rolling. Ottawa's one of the newer teams, obviously, in the SMJHL, but have done really good work under their previous GMs. I would imagine their new one's going to do just as well. So really excited to see who they add here at 10th overall.
Man, you're just throwing out so many fun facts today.
My brain is unfortunately full of SHL related mush.
Just SHL knowledge. That's all you got?
It is kind of unfortunate at this point, but yeah. But so I will say, yeah, that's fair. So we are ready for the pick at 10. We kind of also have news coming. Spoilers. We'll get there here in a second. You guys didn't hear anything. So
way to get the people going. Just drop the spoiler and then don't say anything else.
Let me tell you about anticipation. So here at 10, going to Ottawa, we have... big of anticipation. We have
Victor Pronov. Another right defenseman. Dig Dug.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people know Dig Dug. I know Dig Dug.
Yeah.
Obviously, super strong recreate. He's awesome.
Yeah, really good recreate, really great person. Picking after me in fantasy this year, so have fun sniping my picks, I'm sure. No, super great person, like really, really strong player. Again, defense, where I know we were talking about premium positions and center being one. Defense might even be more of a premium, just maybe a little bit more under the radar, but just because of the scarcity of high quality defensemen, this is a really strong pick at 10. Really, really good start here for Ottawa as they head into their new GM ship. And then we do have a little slight, maybe bit of an update that will be coming.
Oh, is this from the 4 overall trade? Okay.
Okay.
I guess we can talk about that freely, right? That's we know what that is.
Yeah, we kind of know the first half of it. So yeah, if you'll notice, for those of you eagle-eyed observers here in the chat, 11th overall currently says Great Falls when it was originally Vancouver. There is a reason for that, because guess obviously what happened earlier when Raph went 4th overall. Yeah, this is GFG now. So we will be running back-to-back GFG picks here at 11 and 12. So get hyped for that. Like we were talking about at the start, we've got a new GM, new opportunity. Should be these 2 picks will be a really big part of obviously joining Hugh Jazz and seeing what happens with the new Great Falls Grizzlies.
And what's new about them?
GM. I will say, so for those of you that are maybe newer, GFG used to be one of the newer teams in the league. They joined at the same time as what is now the Thunder Bay Walleye, but at the time was the Regina Elk. I believe in the mid-60s, early to mid-60s was when they joined. So they were part of the older, new expansion. And obviously Ottawa and... Oh, God, why am I blanking? Who's the other team? Ottawa and San Diego. Both of them joined about, I want to say 10 seasons ago at this point, but my brain could be rusty on that. So GFG still newer, relative, at least in my brain. So still a lot of opportunity for a GM to really come in and make their mark. They've had some really good GMs over the past, but we'll see if we've got a new GM for the future. So what we're going to do first is we're going to pull up the trade. So we've already, kind of talked about it, but for you at home, we'll go ahead, pull up the trade, let you guys see it, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, gotta get all the details.
It is a big, big trade. So we've got the what was technically the Thunder Bay first, which was 4th overall, and Great Falls 3rd of next season, going to Great Falls. In return, they're sending 11th overall. They're sending Van 2nd in season 91. They're sending NL 2nd in season 91, as well as future considerations, which could basically mean anything. But the important part is 2 seconds and 11 for 4th and a 3rd. And then on top of that, we now do have which funny enough, I do like you guys making the joke in the chat about future considerations, because I believe there is still a player named Future Consideration somewhere in the league.
I think that 100%. I think there is.
Yeah, there's always some good names out there. Shout out Base Pack Sloth creating base pack immediately after they announced the pack system. But on top of that, we now have 11th overall in for Great Falls. Let's go ahead and kick to it. Yep, and then at 11th, we've got Dante Von Wolf, user Bloodless. So we are back to the centers. Another good
back
first
to the users.
Yep,
Bloodless is one giant ball of energy. He just joined ISFL as well. He's department head over there on a couple. Dude is doing everything. So it's a very good pick for Great Falls.
Absolutely. So from there, we are going to move straight into 12th overall, which is yet another pick for the Great Falls Grizzlies. Let us see real quick who will be joining Bloodless on the Grizzlies.
See that now.
And we have Isol, left wing, user Izzy Gad. So another first gen. I believe that's 3 first gens this round for Great Falls. So really like their strategy. They're going all in on the new blood. Love to see it. And also a great idea picking a wing here, right? You've got a center, put a wing next to him, really start getting a good line built up. So in the next, 2-3 seasons, you're going to have a really good first line that's really scary to play against.
Yeah, the future is bright for Great Falls.
Absolutely. So, from there, we move on to 13th overall. This is St. Louis' second pick. Went with a winger last time. Wouldn't be terribly surprised to see them go center this time based on, the trends. But let's kind of see where they went. And instead, they go with another winger, but I absolutely understand why they did it. Robert Truffant, user Emo LeBron. I love Emo LeBron. I remember his first player being drafted to NL back in the day. LeBron is a former, and I hope I don't get the team wrong, I want to say Tampa Bay co-GM. I'm like 99% sure it's former Tampa Bay co-GM. Great user, great person. We love Ohioans here in our SHL. Really good pickup here for St. Louis.
I recognize the name, but I think it's all the reasons that you said.
Yeah, I've been around LeBron a lot. So now I move to QCC. I can slander Gwen all I want. I will continue to slander Gwen all I want. Even when I get traded, I can truly never escape Gwen. It is unfortunate. It is what it is. We will see who QCC picks here at 14th overall. And they go with Zachary Bolt, right winger, user Bolt12. Bolt's been super active, really good. I know QCC tends to be a little more, they tend to go back and forth, actually. They'll pick up some really good recreates, they'll pick up some really good first gens. They are another one of those, kind of like Carolina, that is a machine at churning out high-quality SHL talent. So, like, a really, really good grab here for Gwen and the QCC team. So, huge congratulations, obviously, to Bolt. This is a great pick, great spot, great job all the way around. And then from there, we move to Carolina's second pick at 15. So we've already got 7. We know, obviously, Kari is coming later. So let's see who's going to join them. They have, yep, you got it.
Nathaniel Tisdale, right wing. Another recreate, user Arm the Sharks.
Yes, Arm the Sharks. Old Van GM back in the day. Great user, great person, always super great to be around. Really like obviously getting a forward ad here for Carolina. They got 7 at defense, so matching the forward with the defense and with your 2 first-round picks, great pick. Sharks is fantastic. This should be a really good ad here for the Kraken. And then we are in our last pick here in round 1. For all of you that are checking your brackets, or checking your mock drafts, see who's still left.
I've been playing bingo over here, 16. So I'm with everybody else.
Yeah, it's fair. So this is another NL pick. They picked JR earlier. Very curious to see who they grab to join JR here. And they go with a great pick. So I'm going to screw the name up, but I'm going to try it. Nail Reyes Montas, right defenseman, user Deliverum. Deliverum is an old SHL user, been around forever. For whatever reason in my head, I associate them with the platoon. I don't know why, and if that's wrong, and if it is, I apologize. But really solid pickup here. Great job at the end of the first. We were talking about defense as a premium. I think, after that run of the centers in the mid-first, I would expect we're going to see a decent defense run here, but, only time will tell. But this is a really good pick to close out the first round for the Berserkers. We will kick into round 2 here in a second. I know we have one question in the chat, which is, how do you feel about separating your spaghetti when you eat it? And Sharks, I have literally no idea. Are you talking about individual
what do you mean
noodles?
Separating the spaghetti? What
are you talking about? What do you mean? I feel like I need clarification here, because if you're talking about eating the noodles separately from the sauce, then are you just drinking marinara sauce? Because, I guess you can. You can put a straw in it, but, why? Or is it just separating out the individual noodles, in which case, yeah, sure, fine, do what you want. I'm not dad, I can't tell you.
Chef don't judge. Eat your spaghetti however you want. Just, it's a little weird.
It is a little bit weird. Mix the sauce with the noodles, but it can't be made together. So,
oh. Well, that's
fine. I don't know. Who cares? That's how I used to do it. I would always make the noodles and then just pour the sauce on top of it. And yeah, it'd be room temperature, but the noodles are hot enough that they're gonna heat it up a bit. You have to cool off anyway. So at that point, the sauce heats up. Now, I know it's probably more common to mix them together, but I don't see why you can't do it separately. Now the meat separate than the sauce is weird, but also I like a meatless spaghetti. I'm not the right person to ask here. I'd rather just have the sauce and the noodles. So, I'm my own version of psychopath, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. No, that's fine. It's fine. You're misunderstanding. The meat has to be separate. Okay, so if the meat has to be separate, at that point I just wouldn't have the meat, because then you're just basically eating ground beef, and at that point, why not just have burger? And then if you put ketchup on it, is that not just alternate spaghetti?
Oh, this is.
Think on that.
Now I don't know what to say.
And now as we move into the second round, I want you to think on if a burger with ketchup is just spaghetti. And we'll kick it off here with 17th overall, which is another St. Louis pick, which we should have ready to go. No, Raph, we can't get back to the draft. We have to talk about spaghetti and burgers. And as we go to 17th overall,
well, he recovers. We've got Sebastian Patrick, another center, user Joe Jeff, another known recreate here.
Yeah, Joe Jeff has been around for a minute. Honestly, a bit of a legendary user. Really good pick here for St. Louis. Obviously, it's getting a good recreate that's known around the league. I mean, that's kind of what you're looking for. Should be a really good add to that St. Louis team. It's a solid pick to start off. The top of the second round here for the Scarecrows.
Yeah.
And from there, we move into 18th overall with the Ottawa Highlanders. So obviously they picked Dig Dug at 10th overall. Now they're picking here at 18. Get to see who they will be adding to their team. And they are adding Landon Brody, right defenseman, user Perry PHX. I'm going to assume that's for Phoenix, but I guess I could be wrong. So we have a first gen, kind of what we were talking about at the end of the first. I'm expecting to see more defensemen go after a pretty forward heavy draft at the start. Could be the start of a defenseman run here. See where it goes, but Perry's been very active in the rookie Discord. Really good grab here for the Highlanders.
Agreed. Again, we've said it a ton of times. Anytime you can grab somebody that's been active in chat and you know they're going to be around, it's a slam dunk of a pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So now we move on to 19th overall, the Carolina Kraken, making their third pick. Two really good recreates so far. Very curious to see if this is where they go first gen, whether they go with another recreate. Let's see where they go.
The anticipation is palpable.
And it is Bojo Biscuit Jr., user Bojo. For those of you that have been around in the league, one, you're going to know Bojo. Bojo is just an absolute legend. But also for those of you that have an SHL player, specifically a defenseman, you know the Bojo Biscuit Award exists for the best defensive defenseman of the year, named after this guy right here. Huge pick. I had Bojo as a first rounder. I know I didn't submit a mock, but looking at the teams, I thought it'd be insane that Bojo didn't go the first. This is a huge grab for Carolina. Third recreate, really, really solid user, really, really solid person. I'm imagining, you've got the legacy right there in the name of the player, too. Huge pickup here for the Kraken.
Yeah, it's anytime you can get a player that's an award is named after, I feel like, that's a winner right there. I didn't know. I should have put that together. But that makes so much sense now. I'm learning so much tonight.
Hey, look, if I can teach anyone anything, I'm going to count tonight as a win. So I'll take it. No, so huge pick there. We now move on to number 20, the Thunder Bay Walleye. So this is Thunder Bay's first pick of the draft. Obviously they traded out of the first round. This is also Troy's first draft as GM. Was co-GM for a number of seasons with Yosh as the GM. Yosh stepped down, Troy stepped up. Also, my IHF Fedhead in Czechia, so really excited to see what Troy's going to do here.
A lot of new GMs this draft looking to make a mark, and I think they've all succeeded so far. Excited to see what happens here.
And speaking of succeeding, Thunder Bay drafts Atlas Condos, user Ote. So another center, but also, Ote's fantastic. So they were in my 76 draft. But also that was their, I think, second player, so I believe this is their third. Current co-GM of the SHL champion Seattle Argonauts. Fantastic person, fantastic user, really good pick. I believe, if I remember correctly, their last player was also on Thunder Bay. I could be wrong about that, but I'm 90% sure their last player was on Thunder Bay. Incredible value in the second round to get Ote. just absolutely fantastic user. So super excited for them. Obviously, super excited for Thunder Bay. Great move all the way around.
Yep. I again, this is another case of where I agree with everything you had to say.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that. I'll take the ego boost.
Yeah, no, that's what we're here for.
That's true. So from there, we move into another St. Louis pick. This is their 4th pick of the draft here at 21. And they are going to add another one of my faves. So Sean, I'm guessing it's Richard. I'm just gonna assume. Noka yell at me if I'm wrong later. Our first goalie of the draft, and it is Nokazoa. So Noka, this is their 3rd player. They were, I believe, the captain of Edmonton when I joined back in S59. Fantastic person. One of my favorite users in the SHL period. Like, great person all the way around. I know we've talked a lot, obviously, and there's been a lot of talk in the league about goalies in general. I personally still believe there's a lot of value in the goalie position. So really excited to see Noka go here. Should be a really big part of what St. Louis is building. They've got a really good draft here so far. So really excited to see where that continues to go.
Yeah, I am admittedly I'm a little surprised. It took this long for a goalie to fall, but sometimes that's just how it goes.
Absolutely. And then from there, we move on to pick 22. So Colorado looking to make their 2nd pick. Obviously, Natsu, a huge pick in the 1st. Curious to see who they add to join them here in the 2nd. And they will add another big heavyweight recreate. Lord Farquaad's the 2nd. So this is obviously Ace. We do have Jay Reiser kind of in our ears running this whole thing. Specifically, I want to call out that Ace sucks. So Ace, I go ahead and bring up with them. Sounds like a whole lot, not my problem. I've got too many toasts I've got to slander. But regardless, Ace is fantastic. I mean, Ace has been around forever. I'm trying to think how many teams. So New England, Anaheim, Winnipeg, and now Nashville as GMs. And if I missed one, it's possible I missed another one in there, but incredible person, runs like also one of the better podcast hosts in SHL history. Huge part of the league. So to be able to get a user like Ace in the 2nd round is unreal. Ace is another one I would have easily had pegged as a 1st rounder. So just incredible value here for the Colorado Raptors.
Yeah, completely agree. I think even I know Ace in circles, and I've only been here a few seasons, and you just know when somebody's got an impact like that, been around, you just know who they are. And like you said, getting somebody like that in the 2nd round, I think really does speak to the quality of that 1st round.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge pickup there. So then from there, we move to another St. Louis pick. So this is pick number 5 in the draft for St. Louis. Yeah. Most picks easily by far for any team. So curious to see who they add to their already solid roster. And we have Greg Gage, user Friday Hungry, a right defenseman. So, kind of what I was talking about earlier about how defense is a premium. I think it was Faye calling out pretty light draft for defensemen. So I know I was talking about a defense run. Apparently that's not going to happen because there's just not a lot of defensemen in the class in general. So I think, you're going to start seeing defensemen go at an even higher premium. Now, Friday, great user. Great first gen, has that energy that you're looking for in a first gen. So should be a really good ad here. But I think you're really going to start seeing any of the defensemen that are left. I don't think they're going to make it out of the second round, in my opinion.
I think it's a pretty educated opinion.
And then from there, we move on to Kelowna. Kelowna making their second pick. Pick J Doctor in the first. Curious to see who they go with here in the second. And it is Alex Malinowski, another defenseman, user CRMO15. So again, kind of what we were talking about. Not a lot of defensemen left. I don't think Faye, if you want to give me an update counter on how many are left in the draft, I think we're at 2, might be at 1. CRMO, great user. Really good ad for Kelowna. I believe that's 2 first gens that have been added to Kelowna this draft. So kind of a similar strategy to what Great Falls is doing, really focusing on the first gens, getting a lot of new energy into the team. Love to see it. And then from there, we move to back-to-back Colorado. So always interesting to kind of see where it goes when you got back-to-back picks. I always think it's kind of fun if you get drafted together to kind of see, oh yeah, I went higher than you, even though it was literally back-to-back.
It's all about the bragging rights. It really is.
I mean, there is a good chance to just kind of shit talk for fun if you really want to here. So curious to see who Colorado picks here at 25. And they go with Felix Burgeot.
Burgess, yeah.
Burgess. I was just kind of assumed, but I'm gonna go with Burgeot. Artemis, if I'm wrong, let me know. So, Artemis, very active first gen. Another one that I honestly thought was going to move in the first. So really, one of the ones I noticed was super active in the rookie Discord. Really good pickup here for Colorado. I know it's funny, just as an anecdote, I know there's another user that's no longer active in the SHL named Artemis. So it's always fun to have the actual correct spelling of it this time. So thank you for actually spelling it correctly. Always appreciate.
You got to call out good spelling when you see it.
That is true. So no, really good ad there for Colorado. Really good spot for Artemis to land. And now we get to see who their partner is and who they get to have a little bit of fun with here at pick 26. And it is another first gen, Nolan Brewer, user, Quidolus? I'm going to say Quidolus.
Quitolis? Yeah.
God, I'm stupid. Okay.
Quitolis, yeah. Quitolis.
I'm just going to say Quidolus, but it's funnier, but that's just me.
I know him. He's in a ton of leagues. I share a bunch of locker rooms with him, war rooms, all that. He is a wonderful person. This is another quality user pick on top of, a great player pick for Colorado. So they just continue to nail every single one of their picks.
Yeah, huge back-to-back round there for the Raptors. As now we move into the Timber. Timber obviously got a great recreate with their first pick. Curious to see who they go with this time here at 27. And they grab Mac Yeager, a center, user Jay Bremo. Jay Bremo, another name that I've seen definitely popping around on that rookie Discord. good to see another center go. Should be a really good ad here. Again, it's I do like when teams do a mix of recreates and first gens because you get new blood in either way, but you mix of people that have been in the league, kind of help guide those first gens along. It's a really good pickup here for the Timber. And from there, we go to pick number 28, which is the Yukon Malamute. So this is their first pick of the draft.
I was going to say, I don't think we've heard them at all this evening.
We have not. So not sure. I'm assuming based on the positioning, they traded their pick earlier to the Great Falls Grizzlies. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. Never mind. It wasn't. I don't know who it was traded to. It's fine. I don't pay any attention to me. I'm stupid. So yeah, now we get to see who Yukon drafts. It's fine. It's fine. This one's totally a mystery, guys. I promise. We're letting the pick up now. This is, again, for you observant users in the chat. You guys probably already know who it is, but we'll hype it up a bit. So it is Jonas Ravendal, user Flu. For obviously, I think everyone probably knows. Flu, the GM of Yukon, has been the GM of Yukon for what, like 20 seasons now? It feels like forever. Great user, great person. We all love a solid Yabis. Flu's great. I was in the Chicago locker room with him a bit on my last player. Just fantastic person to be around. So, obviously, it's always a little weird when you draft yourself as a JGM. Spoiler, that's not the last JGM pick we're gonna have, but it's also fun when you have to get to play with the team that you built. So, super excited for Flu, obviously. And then from there, we move on to Thunder Bay's second pick. So, huge pick with Otay at the start of the second. Curious to see who they grab here towards the end of the second. We are loading up. I do have a pick somewhere, or I got pinged somewhere. What did I do wrong? Oh, I got Noga's name right. Oh yeah. All right. Thanks, Noga. Glad I screwed up. Alright, that's fine. I'm happy with that. I'll count that as a win. Okay, so we move on, and we have Pazuzu McGinty, left wing user Leoben. So Leoben's another user that's been around the league forever. Like at least, on and off for the past 30 seasons at least. Great person, great ad. Really like the pick here. Really solid job, I think, by Thunder Bay to not have a first rounder and come away with 2 first round caliber talents and 2 really good recreates with these second round picks.
Yeah, again, we've kind of been saying, throughout the night, it's the name of the game. If you can find value later on, and if that value is super high, it's a good night. That's a good draft.
Absolutely, and I promise I'm not just saying this so Troy gives me more ice time and check you. I'm on the downswing. I don't need more ice time. It's fine. Maybe just a little bit of power play time. It's fine. And now we move on to Carolina, where we've kind of been hinting at this pick the whole time. It's probably the most obvious pick in the draft, and it is the most obvious pick in the draft. But we will kick to it. We will give her the praise she is rightfully deserved. And it is a worm center user Kyrie. I don't even know if we can quantify the amount of things that Kari pulled off on her first player. Coming in as a first gen, ends up as a long-term co-GM of Carolina, ends up, I believe, in both HOs, and then takes over for Carolina once Seven moved up to the SHL. On top of that, I mean, Betsy was a great player for both Denver and Manhattan. I can't imagine that A Worm is going to be a borderline Hall of Famer, if not just an outright Hall of Famer. So should be a really good pick here for Carolina. Again, we talked about being a GM, building your own team and playing on it. I think the same thing obviously applies here for Carolina.
I mentioned earlier somebody put out a call to send us draft notes, and Kari did send me draft notes, so I do have something that she would like me to read.
All right, go for it.
Would you draft me if I was a worm? Unfortunately for Carolina, they don't have a choice. I would like to be known as the worst pick for Carolina this draft, and the deepest apologies for everyone on the team.
So I would like to point out, I didn't say that Kari isn't the worst pick on this team, but at the same time, this is a draft that has 7 in it. I don't know if I can, because then you're trying to balance out which one, and then we start getting the messy areas. So, but if Kari wants us to say she's the worst, I can say Kari's the worst. That's fine. Thank you for reading the script, by the way. Sometimes I shoot from the hip too much. It's fine.
She sent it to me hours ago, so I had this bookmarked for a while.
There we go. And then from there, we move on to Colorado with it was his 4th pick of the second, I believe. 5th overall, so now tied for the most picks this draft. Curious to see who Colorado grabs here at 31. And it is, again, another pick not inherently surprising. It is Lamon Russ, user Belmont. So Belmont is the current co-GM of the Colorado Raptors. I believe second to last defenseman left on the board. At least that's active. So I still, fingers crossed, hit my prediction on all defensemen being gone by the end of the second. By the way, I mean, Belmont's great user. Really, really doing a good job embracing the league. And again, 3rd GM pick here in the 2nd round. So obviously, congratulations to them. I know it's always exciting to play for the team you're leading. So.
And quick point of clarification, because I know Belmont's going to get on my ass if this is what it is and it's not right. I think his name is Lehman Russ, and I think specifically it's a Warhammer reference. I think, and if I'm wrong, he can yell at me about it.
He's one of the Primarchs.
I don't Warhammer. I couldn't tell you if it is or isn't.
For the Space Wolves.
I have too many other things. I have too many other nerd fandoms in my head. Warhammer, I don't have.
It's too much. No, as somebody who only recently got into it like 2 years ago, there's too much. You can only do so many hobbies. I get it.
I will say, when I was in Calgary, I know Felix, the current co-GM of Calgary, is all up on Warhammer. So like, it's cool. It's really cool. I wish I had the time to get into it. I don't, but it's very cool. So then from there, we move on to our last pick of the 2nd round, which is pick number 32, again for the Quebec City Citadels. And they are picking... Martinez Momspooner. Right winger, user Martinez Momspooner. Yeah, fantastic name. I will say, not one of the users I'm familiar with on the rookie Discord. If you are, please add some color here. Fantastic name. Absolutely love it. So, kind of fits into the vibes of QCC right off the bat. And I will not elaborate. I will let people speculate. So from there, we are 2 rounds in. We've got more rounds to go. I know, just real quick, just as like a minute or two to catch our breath. How do you feel about the draft so far?
Pretty good, to be honest. I think we saw the kind of expected run on centers in that first round, and then it bled into the second. We're getting that real strong mix of new creates and users. It's honestly about what you'd expect. There haven't been a ton of surprises, but there hasn't been a head scratcher yet. I think every team's really hit on their needs. Even the ones like, I know UConn only just made their first pick of the night, but like, you can make the argument, good pick. So I think they're pretty good. What about you?
No, I mean, I absolutely agree. There's been a lot of really good picks. I think it's, like, honestly, it's one of the stronger second rounds in history. I know, like, we've had a lot of really good second rounds depending on the class, but this is a really, really good second round. That's not even a knock on the first round. I think teams did a really good job scouting and did a really good job at finding value in the second. Obviously, we also have some really elite talent in the first round as well. But I think it's obviously great to see that you've got every team that's at least got a pick on the board here through the first 2 rounds. I know I'm wrong. There's 2 teams that didn't. That's a lie. We're only at 14. So, we've got 14 of the 16 teams on the board. We're missing Detroit, and then we are missing the Battleborn. And Anchorage. Oh, there's 3? Oh my god. Okay.
I'm looking ahead right now. Right now, it looks like only one of those is slated here in the third.
Yeah, that's true. We're only gonna get a Detroit pick in the third. You guys can see, obviously, Nevada and Anchorage don't have anything till the end of the fourth. So, I mean,
wow.
Yeah, but still, to get 13 teams. I mean, some of these drafts get very heavy on a couple teams, so there's still obviously a lot of spread, a lot of teams picking up here. So, really, really good first 2 rounds, and excited to see where round 3 goes. So, why don't we kick it off with the St. Louis Scarecrows? Their pick is, in fact, in. Let's see who they grab. And they grab Johnny Zins, a recreate user, Big Blue X02. So another goalie. So first 2 goalies off the board, and they are both going to St. Louis. I think there's a lot of really good strategy about building a goalie tandem. I know 100%. A lot of teams like this. A lot of teams I know obviously like to stagger. You probably go, every 2 seasons you grab a goalie, so you've always got a 425. But there is something to be said about going with same season tandems because, especially when you're rebuilding, it doesn't really matter what your goalie TP is when you're rebuilding. But once you're at your peak and then you're always playing a 4-2-5 goalie, you're going to be in really good shape for every single game. So really smart ad here by St. Louis. And then we do, in fact, have everybody's favorite thing in the world, a trade. We all love a trade. I believe we're going to get it pulled up.
There we go. Yeah, it looks like oh my god, Maine, right? MET? This is terrible that I don't know that. Yeah, it looks like Maine is moving up from 36 to 34, and they are passing Vancouver's 4th rounder in season 90 to Carolina to move up these 2 spots.
So, from there, we do have the Maine Timber on the board. We will see who they go with here. And they go with Reginald Matthews, defenseman, user Lasagna16. I believe, if I'm correct, Lasagna is the last active defenseman in the draft. So we will be seeing a lot of forwards and goalies from here on out, folks. But yeah, no, Lasagna, great ad. Really good pick to start the third here for Maine. Should be a huge part of that locker room for sure.
And who can go wrong with a food dish for
that is true. But when you cook lasagna, do you separate the meat?
Do you separate the noodles from the sauce before you make it?
I think you have. I think yes when you're making. I think you have to, right? It's almost like four separate dishes. So you do the noodles in like one corner. You have the cheese. You have the meat. You have the sauce. It's like a pie chart, you know. Which, as we all know, is the best kind of chart.
but you still got to cook it after it's assembled. You still got to cook it a little bit more. So can you actually make lasagna without them, and fully cook lasagna without it touching?
And can we talk about the chocolate lasagna at Olive Garden? Because when you're at Olive Garden,
I would love to.
But I do think also, Nike, I think to your question, if you're just stacking lasagnas, it does become one lasagna. The plural of lasagna is lasagna.
I would agree.
Yeah,
if you're stacking lasagnas, it's just one more lasagna.
Yeah, exactly. Someone in the SHL needs to start a food podcast. Yeah, let's get this thing rolling. This sounds like a Troy job. This sounds like Troy and Shawnee just need to pivot and just make it a food podcast. I'll do it. Bring me on. Let's go. I can talk about it for an hour. On top of that, we will now be going to Carolina's back-to-back picks at 35 and 36. And our first
Harold
pick here
McGuire.
Yes.
A center, a recreate, and it's Hungry Harold. Speaking of lasagna.
Yeah, no kidding. Harold definitely been active in the rookie Discord. Good pick here for Carolina at the start of the third. Obviously very excited to see who they go with for their pick right after to partner with Harold.
I'm excited to see what they pull here. Those back-to-back picks is always an exciting time in the war room.
Yeah, absolutely. And the pick is in, and we will see Horace Tiburon, user the Bushman 808, going to the Carolina Kraken as well. Back-to-back
Shout out
centers,
the Bushman.
Yeah. Back-to-back centers, obviously huge position throughout this draft that we've been talking about. Really, really good grab here for Carolina. Really good job building on the draft that they've had. And then from there, we move on to the San Diego title. So, as we work on loading up the draft, let me tell you some personal anecdotes about San Diego's co-GM toast. I could go real personal. Oh man, how mean do I want to be to toast tonight on like a 1 to 5 scale here? I will say this much. So, Toast, this is not his first run as a GM in the SMJHL. He was the GM of the Maine Timber for about 10 or so seasons. And was most famous for building a really good team that got absolutely shellacked in the playoffs every single year by the Newfoundland Berserkers. it was, I will tell you, which is extra funny, one, because his player right before he became main GM was on NL, but also as someone that was on those NL teams doing the shellacking, the memes were beautiful. I'll have to, I know I made a graphic. There was one season that the Maine hosted the All-Star game, and they did not pick my graphic, and I wish they did, but I'll have to find it and send it because it was pure artistry. So, yeah. Good news, I think Toaster's going to keep them in line here and actually, win some playoff games, so, we got that going for them. But we'll see here who San Diego is picking at pick 37. And Toast, you can't say don't, I already done. And they are going to pick Jack Ryan. Goalie user Eddie's not here. So our third goalie off the board, Eddie, the former GM of the Minnesota Monarchs, which is my brand new SHL home. Eddie's great. This is a really, really solid pick for San Diego. Eddie's a fantastic user. I know has been involved on the tactic side of everything as well. Should be a really good fit for what they're building over in San Diego. Had a good job building on their first player. Really active locker room presence. This is the exact kind of pick that you're hoping you can get in the third round. So obviously,
it's always good. You mentioned really excited, you mentioned goalie tandems earlier. While this is only one, anytime you can get a goal off the board and one that that's going to be quality, you got to pull the trigger.
Absolutely. And on top of that, we do have yet another trade here at 38. So Shawnee, loves to just give us extra work. What else is new? It's Shawnee. Can't say enough things about that guy. You want to take this trade?
Sure. Sorry, let me look over back at the correct screen. We have Great Falls moving up here to 38 and sending back Yukon 3rd in 91 and Great Falls 4th in 93. It's about 4 seasons out. So a bit of a late play here from Vancouver, stockpiling some later picks. Looks like, I guess, Great Falls has got a guy here that they want to move up and grab.
And
I guess let's see who that is.
Yeah. And they are picking notorious F1 driver Charles Leclerc, right winger, user Denia 11. So here's the thing. So Denia, great user. Charles Leclerc, great driver. I'm more than willing to throw myself under the bus and catch heat and get slandered here. So my favorite F1 team is Haas, and I feel like every single time I say that, people stare at me like I'm stupid and ask why. And you know what? I stand by it.
It's a safe space here. I know minimal about F1, so you're good.
That's probably for the best. Haas is historically bad. So it's fine. Leclerc's great. I've always been a fan of Leclerc. But Denia, another good user, should be a really good add to Great Falls. I look forward to getting spammed with Haas sucks, LOL, either in the chat or in my DMs. So. And from there, we now move on to 39, which is Ottawa. And with the 39th pick, Ottawa selects Ty Justice, user Justice. I know Justice a lot, so Justice, I think he had just moved up to the SHL when I got drafted to NL. But he's been around the league for a long time. Old NL alum. I believe this is his 3rd or 4th player. Great guy. brings a lot of good positive energy to the LR. Should be a really good grab here in the third for the Highlanders.
Yeah, it's another one of those names where, even if you've not been in the league for a very long time, just you kind of know who they are.
Yeah, for sure. And then from there, we move on to pick 40, and then also pick 41. So this is, I believe, our third back-to-back. Fourth back-to-back this draft. We had Great Falls round 1, we had Colorado round 2. Earlier this round, we had Carolina. Now we get Thunder Bay back-to-back. So very curious to see who they have their eyes on at 40 and 41. And at first, we have Peter Turbo, center user Potion Seller. I'm pretty sure Potion Seller is very active in the.
They were just talking about Warhammer.
Disco.
Yeah, this is another Warhammer reference. Hilariously.
Yeah, so more Warhammer. Always love to see that. No, Potion Seller is a great grab here. I kind of figured they would have gone higher. So really excited to see them go here. Really, really good job for Thunder Bay. So excited to see them there. And then on top of that, we have our first, I'm going to say kind of curveball. We have Pass.
Yeah.
Thunder. I do it every time. Thunder Bay has passed. Meaning,
that is early, I feel like.
Yeah, I think there could have been another player that could have grabbed, but I'm guessing Troy has a strategy that none of us are aware of and that none of us will ever find out until he tells Shawnee and everyone on their podcast. So we now move to 42. This is NL's, I believe, third pick. And they will be selecting Neko Puch. Neko Puch. If I pronounce that wrong, I'm sorry. Please let me know how I'm supposed to say it. But the user, Neko. So another first-gen center. Obviously, good grab here for the Berserkers. Getting another center, like we talked about, it is arguably the most important position in the SHL right now. So if you can get a good center in the third round, huge value for sure. So congratulations to Neko. And we move now to pick number 43, which is the third QCC pick. And we do have the pick ready to go as well.
I believe we do.
And it is Alexander Barodko, user Now I'm Arby. So recreate, like we were just talking about, center, currently a premium position. So being able to get a solid recreate at the center spot, always a good add, especially here in the third round.
Yep, continue to add that depth of actives. You just need people that are going to be there in those later rounds. QCC is doing exactly that.
Absolutely. And then from there, we move to, if I'm correct, this is UConn's first non-GM pick. So curious to see who will be joining Flu in UConn. Okay, so we are working on loading up the pick here. So we're at risk. I wish this was one pick earlier because I would have absolutely roasted Gwen. I don't want to roast Flu. Flu's too nice. Gwen's meaner. Gwen deserves the roast. But either way, so UConn, I'm talking about UConn a little bit. So they are, I believe, second most recent true rebrand in the SMJHL. Newest one being Thunder Bay, who I know I talked about a little bit earlier. They were previously the Regina Elk, which is, I believe, the second Regina franchise the SHL has ever had after the Regina Force. Make your own giggles on that one. So the Elk came in, moved to Thunder Bay, but the UConn Malamute before that were actually the Anaheim Outlaws. So we did have, at the time, two teams in the Los Angeles Metroplex. Obviously, we had the Panthers, and then in the J, we had the Outlaws. Flu took over and moved the Outlaws over to UConn and gave them a sick dog logo. And there's just a little bit of history on UConn. So, very cool spot. And now we get to see who they add to that legacy. And they are adding, oh my god, they're adding Himalayan TPE Monster, user RJMW. That is, look, if I can say nothing else, Himalayan TPE Monster is like peak SHL naming. It's up there with base pack and future considerations. It's so good. It's so good. The absolute jump scare when you just see Himalayan TP. That's so good. I mean, I will say, adding in a forward to go with Flu's defenseman, great pick, obviously from a strategy perspective. But that's so good. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so funny. So then from there, we move into the Detroit Falcons. So this is Detroit's first pick this draft, picking all the way down at 45. Obviously very curious to see who they add. Toast, okay, that's fair. But I know how to pronounce Himalayan. I just you see the TPE monster part after it, I'm telling you, it's a jump scare. Hey, so fun fact, everyone. We're back to vamping. So turns out, Detroit's not picking. I don't know whose fault it is. I'm gonna blame Evil. Everyone can blame Evil. Matt, ban him. Kick him out, man. But this is actually going to be another QCC pick. So even when I get the chance to riff on Gwen, I unfortunately don't get the chance to riff on Gwen because Gwen and QCC have already made their pick. Unfortunate. Hey, never mind. It's really, I love this whole NR thing, man. This is great. I know.
I feel like a true professional. Like I'm getting up to the minute updates.
I would say I feel like a true professional, but considering my conduct on this entire stream, I think it's been anything but a true professional. Regardless,
you've been wonderful.
I think I made your job fairly easy, which is the goal. It's
perfect, right? Because I'm dealing with somebody in a locker room getting Discord hacked right now, and I'm having to go through and mute a bunch of messages. So you having to vamp during that time is actually great because then I can focus on getting that cleaned up. That's a key note here in this draft, though, people. Take care of your Discord accounts.
Yeah, we do. It's probably about once a year. We get a really big Discord hack, and you start getting random DMs from people that are clearly not that person. So yeah, also don't open random links from people. And I say that as someone that did in fact open a random link from someone in my email 2 months ago. Which okay, wait, we don't have a title page for him? Okay, so we have a little bit of a flip-flop. So, Charlie Barr.
A bit of an oopsie.
Yeah. Making a little bit of adjustment. Charlie Barr went 43rd overall to the Quebec City Citadels. Which means 45. Do we have 45 ready to go? Alright, so, yeah, Charlie Barr at 43. 44 is the same. 45, we should be ready to go. See where we go from here. And wait, did they just go 2 picks later than we thought they did? Okay. Okay, yeah, so Charlie Barr, 43rd. 45, now I'm RB. We're good. It's fine.
Now we're all caught up.
Everybody's
correct now.
Everyone's going to QCC anyway. It's fine. We love Quebec. Quebec. I think it's Quebec technically. Someone will definitely yell at me for that one. I'm going to keep saying Quebec anyway because I'm filthy American. What are you going to do? And then from there, we now go to another one that I could absolutely mispronounce for fun. We go to NL. Newfoundland with the pick. And the Berserkers will be picking. The pick is in. We're just waiting on yield side to pop. And NL will be picking Lucas Corbinian, a goalie, user Colbster6807. So this is our 4th goalie off the board. I think we've been kind of seeing historically in the J recently, goalies really aren't being looked at in the first. Unless it is a really, really solid first-gen user. I know Toast was, I think, like 2nd overall. Lore was a first-rounder. But by and large, we're seeing goalies go later and later. There's obviously 10 million different articles have been written about goalies and TPE and all that fun stuff. But great grab here for NL. Colbster should be a really good add-up to their team. Always good to grab a goalie if you need one. So congratulations to Colbster and NL. And then we will be moving over to pick number 47, which is another Ottawa pick.
This is going to be Ottawa's 4th pick tonight? Do I have my math?
I believe so. And they are picking Fabian Zercher. I think Zercher. I'm going to stay with it. And they are a goalie, and it is Chase Applebaum, another first-gen. So back-to-back goalies here at the end of the 3rd. Back-to-back first-gen goalies at that. 5th goalie off of the board, so huge pickup here for Ottawa, and congratulations to them and Chase both.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see that run on goalies that we all expected.
That is true. Although now the question is, will NL continue that run here at 48? We've already had one team go with a goalie tandem this draft in St. Louis. Will NL do the same? Who knows? Let's see what we got. The pick is, in fact, in. And they are picking Yuri Vorolek, left winger, user Hex5, another first gen. So not a goalie, winger. Again, we talk about forwards are probably the most, or the most important position because hey, you need points. So, great grab here for NL to end the third round. And now as we start moving into the fourth, I think we already have one team on the board that's passed in Thunder Bay. This is typically where we start seeing some more teams passing, just based on roster space, just based on any host of reasons as to why a team could start passing here. But who knows? We might not get any passes. Or we may just get, 10. It could really go anywhere. Curious to see which teams are looking to add to their arsenal as we kick into round 4 here. And we do have the pick ready to go. It is St. Louis. They will not be passing. They will be grabbing another player to add to their roster. And they are adding Sumi, left winger user Sumi Inc. So starting off with another first gen forward. Obviously, great pick here. When you start getting into the fourth, you still have some actives kicking around, but you do also start getting into players that maybe aren't as active. So there are a lot of gems to still be found in these later rounds, though. I always point out that I was a 4th rounder on my first player, and I turned out pretty all right, I would think.
Toast Look at you now.
Yeah, Toast can come in and say that I'm wrong, and I'm sure he will. But, draft position doesn't always mean everything. So, who knows? It is a draft. There's obviously a lot of strategy that goes into it. So we'll see where it goes. But either way, big congrats to Sumi and St. Louis here as we move into our next pick number 50 for the Great Falls Grizzlies. And they are picking Graham Michael, left winger user Graham Michael. So that is, I believe, 3 first gen left wingers in a row, if I'm correct.
I think you're correct.
Yep. So we're starting to see a lot of first geners go now. We're starting to see a lot of forwards. Really pieces that can be a big part of the team still, obviously. There's more forward spots than there are anything else on the team. So when you get to that point of starting to fill out, even if it's not the top line, you can get really good second and third line players at this point in the draft. Or you can still get really good first line players if they're still active, earning, all that fun stuff. So
right,
a lot of potential here still.
It's always a case of, it doesn't matter what your draft position. Are you here? Are you active? Because anybody can make it.
Absolutely. And now we move on to pick 51 for the Carolina Kraken.
I feel like Carolina's had the most picks tonight, huh?
Denver, Colorado. And they are picking Kyle Glinskey, goalie user Kyle with an X, Kyle XY, if you will. So goalie number 6, I believe, off the board. Good pickup here. we've talked about goalies. They're going to go a little bit lower than skaters. So good pickup here for Carolina to still be able to grab a goalie with some really good value on the chart. And then it sounds like we are going to be moving into everyone's favorite pick. Say it with me. Pass.
Pass.
We do love us a pass. So we've got a couple teams passing here. You can see on the board Colorado and Ottawa both passing. However, in the middle of that, and San Diego as well. Let's say we have San Diego in the middle, but San Diego passing as well, meaning we move on down to Vancouver at pick 57. And it might not be Vancouver. Please hold. Was there a draft? Was there another?
We're doing some fact checks. Sit tight.
We are. Okay, it is a Kelowna pick. Don't ask questions. How is a Kelowna pick? I couldn't tell you. Did it happen this draft? Did it not happen this draft? Did it happen 3 months ago? Did it happen 6 months ago? I don't know. We're gonna.
The world may never know.
But this is Kelowna. I believe we were working on getting the pick pulled up because it's been made. But congratulations, you don't have to play for Johnny. So, with pick 56, we will see Rizai Stockholm, another center, user Rizai, a recreate. We again talk about center, probably the high scoring position. So good value here for Kelowna in the 4th round to grab a player that will hopefully contribute a lot of points to their team. And then from there, I believe, yeah, we're getting a lot of passes here, y'all. We're wrapping this thing up, I think. So we've got passes now from Vancouver. Yeah, we've got passes from Vancouver, NL, Maine, and Nevada. So Nevada not making a single pick this draft. I believe Anchorage passed as well, correct? So Nevada and Anchorage both passing on the draft entirely. However, we are at pick 64, the end of the 4th, and the Citadels will be selecting a player. I believe the pick is in.
What do we check?
Look at that timing on that noise, huh? Look at that. That's prime. That's great. We're still pulling that off. So the Quebec Citadels have picked Grayson Delarge, right winger. User, will this work? I'm gonna say yeah. This is gonna work. I have faith here. Pick here for. Yeah.
No. Sorry. Go ahead. I interrupted your whole line of thought.
No, I think it'll work. Pick at the end of the 4th. A lot of teams passed here. Quebec obviously saw some value here, so very curious, but also very excited to see where this is going to go.
I feel like Quebec's just really hit on a lot of good names this draft. I mean, it's an underrated quality of draft picks.
But, yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. They usually get some really solid names in there too. I mean, obviously got to shout out Mateo and his player. I'm going to screw it up. Cristoforo Roccamonte Piano. if I remember correctly.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, that is a 3-time Cup winner. But we move on to pick 66. So St. Louis has passed. As you can see, there are a lot of passes on this board, y'all. We will be moving to 66 here with Great Falls, who has picked Tyler Johnson. Center, user SimCat90.
Well, it's right in the name. Seems to be right at home in Sims. Hopefully that works out for Great Falls.
That is a good point. And then from there, we move on to pick 67. If you all want to make your memes, go ahead. Historically 69 was the meme pick of the draft. Of course, Toast ruined everything and passed pick 69. How could he? Clearly not Toaster's fault. Solely blaming Toast for that. And so instead we get our other meme pick, which is Yield 67. I know historically
everybody's new favorite.
Yeah, I mean, and depending on the draft class, both of these picks have been passed, but also, we've gotten picks in both of these spots too. Obviously, 6-7 is a newer meme, so people didn't focus it, but there was always usually a pick at 69. But here at 67, we have Caleb, goalie, user Caleb28337. I believe the second goalie for Carolina this draft, correct?
I believe so.
Second goalie, and we have another Caleb. So, for those of you that may not be aware, we do have a Caleb that is co-GM of the Madison Valkyries in the SHL. That is just Caleb. That's Caleb with a C. This is Caleb with a K. So, we got a difference. And then Detroit has also passed, meaning there are in fact 3 teams that did not make a single pick this entire draft. So we are going all the way down to pick 80.
80, yeah.
Oh, I'm so stupid. Yeah, it is 80. Okay. Quebec. So Quebec at pick 80 is grabbing. I'm like looking at the long column and everything. They are picking Ignis Venkus, user James the Bot 888. Are they a bot? We'll never know.
I hopefully not, for Quebec's sake.
Now, let's start talking about all of the positives artificial intelligence has added to our lives. I think obviously generative AI is the future.
Obviously. Yeah, I mean it's very, very most definitely.
There are a few things I can say, but I don't want to get in trouble. It's fine. I'm just gonna take it's fine. AI sucks. That's not what's gonna get me in trouble. I'm just pointing out AI. So we now move on to pick. Where are we? Are we at 82? We are at 82 with the Great Falls Grizzlies. I believe we're at about 3 teams left in this draft still. And at 82, we have Ben Mitchell, center, user BMitch21.
Another center off the board.
And then from there, we move to pick 83 for the Carolina Kraken. It's such a good noise, I love that draft noise. We've used the same thing for like 5 years, but it's such a good noise every time. So, Carolina has selected Corridon Schroeder, right winger, user. I'm just gonna spell it. It's fine. SNXKEI. I apologize for not knowing how to pronounce that. The only thing I could think of would be Snakes Kai, and I don't think that's right. So, yeah, winger at Carolina here in the what round are we? Seventh round. Seventh round, sure.
I think so. Yeah, seventh, maybe.
No,
yeah.
Sixth round. All right, that was 6.
We skipped all the way to 7.
We've got
no
a
idea.
whole lot of passes here, y'all. So now we're skipping to the end of the 7. And this is our last pick of the draft. For those of you that have been here since the start, this is how we are ending it. Quebec City will be picking. Don't give me a drum roll.
If I had a soundboard, I would.
They're picking Mullet Guy, defenseman, user Ogreish. I think there is no better way you could have ended the draft than a guy named Mullet Guy. Solid pick there. Great way to end the draft. It is literally all about the flow. It's also all about 13 speed on defenseman and still also putting points at the faceoffs, which I can't really say anything about as a defenseman with like 10 points in faceoffs. What are you gonna do? So, with that, we have concluded the S89 SMJHL entry level draft. Congratulations to everybody that has gone to their new homes. Welcome to the league. For those of you that are recreates, welcome back. You can't escape us. We are inevitable. So, if you've got any final parting words for our draftees here.
Congrats to everybody. Enjoy your new teams. It's an exciting time. Soak it in.
Absolutely. So, on behalf of myself, on behalf of T-Money, and on behalf of Ara and Jay Reiser working in the background, I am your lovely host, Be Fine, and we will see you guys later.